Hey YouTube, how we doing? Silverback here again, and today we're doing some ranked play. I had somebody request that I took my previous version of Dimir Flash into ranked, and to post a video of how it does in ranked play, but I'm taking my new version into ranked. My new version is from the previous video. If you haven't seen it, I'm going to go over it quickly, but what it is Dimir Flash, but it's rotation proof. It's all ready for September. When things rotate, nothing in the deck will rotate, and I think it'll stand a pretty good chance. Now, my personality, I'm a preparer. I like to prepare for the future, and it's embedded in my DNA. I have to be ready for something that I know is coming up. So I know rotation is coming, and I have to be ready for it. It just drives me nuts if I'm playing and mastering cards that are going to be rotating. So now that I have my rotation proof list, I am going to get to know it, get familiar with it, see what works, see what doesn't, and come rotation time, I'm hoping to be a master of my deck and really take advantage of the new standard and climb through the rankings like a madman. But the deck, I mean, it is extremely similar to what I was doing before. We'll just go over it right now. I have the 4 Thieves Guild Enforcers, which mill your opponent for 2 anytime it or another rogue comes in. Gets +2/+1 in death touch if there's 8 or more cards in your opponent's graveyard. There's been some debate about this card. Is it good? Is it not? Does it help your opponent more than it helps you, etc., etc.? And I'll concede that you have to play around it. You can't just mill a bunch of cards into your opponent's deck, find out that they're playing Erebos, and hope for the best. You kind of have to build around this card and build around the meta. So that being said, I also have 2 copies of Cling to Dust. It's the 1 black mana spell where you can exile any card from an opponent's graveyard, and you can either gain 3 life if it was a creature, or you can draw a card if it was anything else. And then you can escape the Cling to Dust itself from your own graveyard by exiling 5, paying 4, and you get to do it all over again, and then exile the card. No, I think it goes back in your graveyard. But regardless, you can keep doing it if you have the cards in your graveyard. Again, this is because Uro is so popular, and even Croxa, you'll see it occasionally. Not to mention, if you play mono black, you're going to see the Demonic Embrace and stuff, Cat Oven. I mean, it has a lot of good targets in this meta right now, and in the future meta, I believe. I believe decks are going to lean more heavily on Uro than ever before after rotation. At least the start. They want to keep with what's familiar, I'm sure. Plus, who knows what else is coming in the next standard. So, very happy so far with Cling to Dust. 2 seems to be pretty good. Other than that, at the 1-drop slot, I guess this is technically a 1-drop, we have Erebos Intervention, 1 copy. I'm a little iffy on this. I might keep it, I might not. I might trade it out for maybe a singleton of Whirlwind Denial. I might take it out for another copy of Brazen Borrower. I really think I want to play 3 of those now, but regardless, right now Erebos' Intervention's in here. It's 1 black and X. You can give a target creature -X/-X, and you gain twice X life, I believe, or maybe it's just X life. Or you can pay X and exile. Yeah, you gain X life because you pay X and you exile twice X cards out of an opponent's graveyard. So it's sort of Cling to Dust. It's sort of an eliminate. It fills 2 roles in the deck. You know, it's nice again if they're playing Cat Oven or you know, Call the Death Dweller or something. You can exile a whole bunch of things out. Even against Elspeth Conquers Death. You exile all their targets out. That's come up in a few games before already. So I like it. I don't know. Maybe I'll play that over Cling to Dust. Maybe I'll take it out for Brazen Borrower. I don't know yet. I'm still tinkering with the deck. Outside of that, we have the Fairy Vandals. It's a rogue. It gets better bigger and better when we draw a card. It's also got evasion, flying. It's really in there because, again, Brineborn Cutthroat's going to rotate. I'd like to have a card that gets bigger. We do have card draw in the deck, so it does have ample opportunities to get sometimes 2, 3, 4 +1/+1 counters on it. We're also playing, as I said before, Brazen Bower. It's good for tempo. It's another rogue. It's actually hits pretty hard, all things considered. 3/1 body's pretty good, but bouncing a non-land permanent's pretty good too. So we play 2 eliminates. They've come in handy against aggro matchups. They've come in handy against Teferi for right now. I think it's going to remain pretty relevant, at least for the start of the new standard. So we go ahead and play 2 of those. 2 Rewind. Again, counter spells. I like Rewind because I can counter something and then leave up the mana to play out a Slither Wisp or a Cunning Nightbonder or something. You know, it's nice to be able to counter and further your game plan. But again, I think for right now, I might want to add some more counters to the deck, some cheaper counters. But Rewind, I think, is a definite include. I got 3 Drown in the Loch. Again, you kind of have to run that with Thieves Guild Enforcer, in my opinion. It acts as removal. It acts as counterspell. I think Lofty Denial and Spectral Sailor, and a whole bunch of flyers in Dimir Flash, and you can see that build in another video I have on my channel, or several other videos. I think those are better right now. But after Spectral Sailor rotates, Lofty Denial is no longer that good for us because we don't have enough flyers without the Spectral Sailor to make it good enough. So that will come out. Drown in the Loch will come in, and it's done pretty good by me so far. I've been pretty impressed with it. Occasionally you're holding on to one and you can't use it and it's a feel bad, but I think there's enough upside that we want to run them. I just wouldn't run all 4. You definitely don't want to be stuck holding multiples of this and not be able to use them. So I think 3 is about the most you'll want to run of Drown in the Loch, in my opinion. 4 Cunning Nightbonder. It's been a staple in this Flash deck since the beginning. Your Flash spells can't be countered. They cost 1 less generic mana. Slither Wisp, the other staple, costs 2 black and a blue. It makes it more difficult to cast, but it's worth it. And it basically lets you draw a card and ping your opponent for 1 anytime you play a Flash spell. We have 3 Threnody Singer and 3 Black Lance Paragon. Those are my combat tricks. Black Lance, flash that onto the field and trade with your opponent's major threat and gain some life in the process. Threnody Singer comes out, gives your opponent's creature -X, -0, where X is your devotion to blue. So I've given things -8 before and blown my opponent out. So don't underestimate those cards. We also play 3 Omen of the Sea. Again, we need the card draw, not only for the Fairy Vandal to grow it, but also if we get going with a Slither Wisp, we don't want to get stuck drawing a huge pocket of lands. We want a little bit of card selection to make sure we can continue pinging and continue moving forward with the deck. Other than that, we just got our mana base. I put 1 Castle Lock Coin in, 1 Castle Vantress. Got the 2 Fabled Passages, 2 Temples of Deceit, 3 Watery Grave, or 4 actually, I'm sorry, 4 Watery Grave, and then a whole bunch of basics. So that is the deck right now. The sideboard is also on the screen, but we're playing in best of 1. The only thing I want to mention about the sideboard is Necromentia. That's a great sideboard card. It's going to take the place of the name escapes me, but it's the blue-black card that lets you search your opponent's graveyard hand and exile the card. This is the same thing, but there's the downside of giving them a 2/2 zombie if one of them happened to be in their hand. So just keep that in mind. But I think it's an excellent include, especially if you're playing best of 3 and Teferi matchups. Play Necromentia, name Teferi, get them all out of the deck. Name Uro, get them all out of the deck. Ugin, I mean, it's a definite great sideboard card, if not main board card in an extremely controlling deck. So that's enough about the deck. Let's get into some ranked play and see how we do. Alright, as the first full gameplay starts, I know I showed full game and then a partial game as I went through the deck, and those were also ranked matches, but these are the 5 I'm gonna showcase. They're a little bit longer, and I think they can show what goes right and what goes wrong with the deck a little better. I'm not gonna do commentary over all of it. I'm just gonna let the gameplay speak for itself. I'm running short on time tonight, and I want to get this video uploaded and out there for the public to see. But my thought is, if you want to play Dimir Flash right now in this current standard, I don't know that this is the version you should play. In all honesty, I would probably take out the Thieves Guild Enforcer for Spectral Sailors. I would take out the Drown into the Locks for the Lofty Denials, and maybe even take out the Eliminates and the Erebos Intervention, and maybe even the Cling to Dust, for a little bit more counterspell or control elements. Again, check out some of my other videos. I think I have another build that I posted about 2 or 3 videos ago that really does well in this current standard, and I'm going to show some ranked gameplay of that next. That'll be up probably Sunday, as I speak today being Thursday. But I did want to show this in ranked because, again, this is the future of the deck. This is the rotation-proof version. This is the version we're going to be playing. And keep in mind, when we're going to be playing this, there won't be Hydroid Krasis. There won't be Nissa who shakes the world. There won't be a lot of these cards that I'm facing off against. And I think the deck gets better when those cards are not in standard. So just keep in mind that a lot of what we're facing right now is going to be a non-issue come rotation. So that might make this deck all that much better. But we also don't know what's coming in the next set. So we'll just have to wait and see. Again, I'm running short on time. I'd love to do commentary for every match. You're going to see some low points for the deck, but stay tuned. You're also going to see some high points for the deck. And then I'll have about a minute and a half wrap up at the end, just giving you my thoughts. Make sure that you let me know how you would build this deck. Leave a comment, subscribe if you feel so inclined. Leave a thumbs up, thumbs down. Just let me know what you think. I really would appreciate some feedback. I'm still new to this whole YouTube thing, and I really want to get the word of Dimir Flash out, but I also want to spread out to other decks. So let me know what you'd like to see on the channel. Again, feedback is appreciated. I'll just let you get going with the gameplay here, and I'll see you for the wrap-up. Thanks.
Isn't a fight you can win. No! I am not making this up as I go! That didn't go according to plan.
Present and future shall back home your prowess. Train harder.
God, once again. Perish! I have other schemes to attend to. Wipe your bloodline from existence!
stand by and watch. Let's try this! I've got time. I really should have seen that coming. I suppose that's how it was meant to happen.
Body should move in unison, like wind and wave. I have just the trick for this. virtue of this world. Rise, my elemental friend!
Alright, so that's the gameplay. We lost 2 and won 3. Again, all those were played in ranked, and they were played tonight. I don't think I put them in exactly the right order. I think I lost my first 2 games and then won the last 3. But I didn't want to show 2 losses right off the bat. I didn't want people to click off the video thinking, oh my god, this deck is just losing left and right. And maybe that's a little as honest as I should be, but you know, in the end, we won 3, lost 2. Probably should mulligan if you get a hand like we had in the elemental game. You probably want a little bit quicker start with creatures and having things to do in that regard. Because if we didn't dirtle so much, we probably could have at least been a little bit more competitive. And then again, showing in our other loss that Teferi is a huge issue for us. I mean, sometimes we can get out from under it, but sometimes it just really beats us down. And after rotation, it won't be as big of a deal, but for now, we have to be aware of it. Overall, I'm pleased with the deck. I still am going to do some tinkering. I still want to fit in a 3rd Brazen Bower, I think. But we'll get to all that later. I hope you guys enjoyed the gameplay. Let me know how you would build this deck. Leave a comment, leave a like, a dislike. Just let me know what you think, and I'll see you in the next one. Later.